So there's your flat wash, not too difficult. Now the gradated wash, you can decide how you want to go. We can either go with a mid-tone, then go dark to white, or we can go dark and then go white on into that. Really doesn't matter. You know, we're going to play it safe and do a mid-tone and then go dark. So here's my mid. Now in this case, what we're going to do is put the brush strokes down a certain way. We don't want to treat this as if we're painting a house. We want to treat this as if we are tiling, like a mosaic. Okay, so we'll just go mid-tone all the way. Here we'll leave white, because you can never get as white as the board. Now, if I'm doing a painting and I want it to key, I'll put a wash over the whole thing. So if there's a green painting, I'll put a green wash, and I'll do that on this. I'll show you. And I'll put a green wash over the entire painting. What that does is it keeps the local color. Off camera here, I just have a towel that I borrowed from the local gym, and they're probably walking around going, "Where is that towel? Where is that artist?" And just anything that's bad. Okay, now here's my white. Next time I go to the gym, they're going to have a bill for me. One towel. If you take it from the house, then your wife gets mad at you, right? Now, what I like to do is like this. Here's my white, there's my dark, and I smear into it like that. See that? I just smear it. So then I can pick up the tone I want right out of it. So here's my dark to my light, nice gradation, and I'll just pick out what I want. And there's the next one there. We're not looking for an airbrushed effect, we're looking for a painterly effect. So now we have this. These are brush strokes. What happens when you're doing your painting, that this could actually pick up the light, and you can put warms and cools in here. It's really pretty. But you want to break it up a little bit. My painting teacher used to always say it's like a mosaic. Okay, so we have that. And we'll go dark up here. See, it's still wet, which is kind of fun. You know, that really doesn't happen very often. It usually dries really fast. Add a little black if you want it. Really dark. There's your gradation, from dark to light. Get used to being able to match colors. I used to do airbrush retouching. This was before Photoshop. And you had to be able to just literally mix a color and put it down, and then have your figure just disappear, you know, because you had to retouch photographs. Also working as a print rep for years, you know, we would have nice little 6. And that's like having a really expensive palette. And I used to have so much fun. But, you know, the clients would bring in their products, especially when they were doing fashion. You know, they bring in the actual fabrics, the products, and, you know, we'd have to match it. You know, on the pressman, they're thinking CMYK, you know, red up, blue down, that type of thing. I'm thinking, you know, add the complement, you know. So if we have a green, you know, I might say to the pressman, hey, you know what, let's pump some red. Well, there's no red in there, very little. All right, then bring the yellow down, red up, and what that would do is that would, kill some of the green. Or if you wanted it to power it up a little bit, then you would bring the blue down, and then you'd bring the yellow up, and that would give us a stronger green, and that type of thing. And you're using this printing press as a painting thing, as a palette. It's really fun, especially when you're powerful and they fire up that press. Those sheets are coming through, and you're seeing your changes. That was the old days. Really fun. All right, so that's your gradation. See it? But it has to be done with brush strokes. Okay, now let's move on to our sphere. Let's start learning how to do the local color. So the local color with this is green. It's like a grayed out green. And there's a couple ways you can do this. You can actually use a wash. Just like that. Okay? And that will key our color. Okay? So this is our wash. And then now we can put in our shadow, which will be the green with a little bit of Payne's gray. Yeah, why not? Want to gray it back a little bit, add some red. Really kill it. Look at that, so it's grayed out, weird green. It's getting a little warm, so I'll add some blue to it. Now it's a blue, red, green, Payne's gray. What does that give us? Mud. There you go. Okay, there's my shadow. Now remember, this is opaque. I can go light and dark if I want, because I can come back in with my reflected light real strong. Here's my shadow. Light's coming this way. Cast shadow. I can even put some in the dark, which will give me a conversation come in this way. All right, so I've got that. Okay, now starting to dry a little bit. Now we're going to put in our light. I'm going to go with white and go white and some brown. Let's go really warm. It's going to be hot. Dude, you're hot. You got burnt sienna, man. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we have our light, we have our dark. Now Rembrandt lighting is kind of fun. It's dark, light, dark, light. So we'll put a light down here. This is dark, so I'll put a light here. Just wherever you have a light, put a dark. Wherever you have a dark, put a light. Okay, so I have that. Now my core shadow, I want to go really dark. So I'm going to mix kind of this darkest brown. Really dark. That's my core. Cores have soft edges. Okay. And then again, I'm mixing these tones together. I'm an animator, so I like to think of extremes and in-betweens. This is my extreme, this is my extreme, and this is my in-between. The extremes, so extreme, extreme, breakdown, and then between these are the in-betweens. That's why I'm using this paper towel that's wet and putting I forgot to tell you, this is a wet paper towel, and the acrylic is right on top of that. So it keeps it wet. Otherwise, it's going to dry really fast, and you're going to get really frustrated, you're going to get really moody, and you're going to lose all your friends, and you're going to lose everybody. And then you're going to go in for therapy, and then the therapist is going to say, but did you put a wet paper towel down? You're going to go, no. You're going to go, well, there you go. Conversations, see that? So lights come in here, see the soft edge? That's all. Brush strokes. Okay, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to go with a blue. Very cold, reflected light. A little light. You want to make sure your reflected light is darker than your halftone, or you'll kill your form. There we go. This is called dirty brush painting, where sometimes you don't clean the brush, you just kind of wipe it off. And it's really fun because all your colors kind of meld together. It makes it really pretty, hard, really sharp here. That brings it towards us. This is really hot, really warm. Now, if this is cool over here, maybe I'll put a warm in the background. Again, conversation, opposites, law of opposites. That's pretty much my whole story of how I do everything. My lectures are law of opposites. I just think of what anybody else would say, and then I go opposite. And then we go, how do you say that? Well, it's just the law of opposites. You go down really low in your lecture, and then you scream, and you wake up the class, and then you hit them with the hard stuff. It's just a formula. I like music that has law of opposites. Really takes you down, brings you up, that type of stuff. Just kind of fun. Movies, law of opposites. Really calm, and then all of a sudden something happens. Horror films, look this way, look that way, look this way again, go back, and all of a sudden, something jumps out at you. A little shadow coming in here. And then you can put in your highlight right here. Not a whole lot, very simple. Okay, so we go. Highlight sometimes has a hard edge and then a little soft edge coming off of it. Highlight halftone, core, reflected light, cast. There you go. Okay, so that's that one. Next one is going to be our box. So this is our shadow side. Again, now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to use the wash. I'm going to paint direct. Here's our shadow. Remember, you have so much freedom with acrylic. You can just paint right over it. You don't want it to get too muddy, though. You want to be careful. But watercolor, you got to really plan. This is called scrubbing, by the way, or scumbling, or scrubbing.